Hi everybody, we're back on the Gold Coast and we're visiting Ian. And what happened to the Atto 3, Ian? What have you done?
Sold it.
Ah, you traded up?
Well, yeah. No, I sold it.
Yeah.
I was tossing up between a Seal and the Tesla, and the Tesla won.
Tesla won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say that I'm just waiting for the C line to come out.
Ooh, you gotta go back again.
Oh, I really like BYD.
Yeah.
I think their battery technology is great. I think their finish is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the reason why the Model 3 won out is it drives like a sports car.
Yeah.
Where the Seal drove more like a luxury car.
Like a touring car, like a Grand Tourer sort of.
No.
Okay.
So it drove like a Mercedes.
Ah.
And I've had heaps of Mercedes.
Ah.
And it's been a while, and my last sports car was a Subaru WRX.
Ah, okay.
And I just wanted a sports car.
There you go.
But I've learned an awful lot about Tesla since then. Tesla, I understand why Tesla has such a good following.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I mean, just check this out. This is the
your usage.
So obviously we just started, so that's
Yep.
not there. But yeah, what I've been averaging is 120 at the moment, 124.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah, I've never gotten that in the Atto 3.
So if you wait a little while, I think you'll find when we do a little bit more, it'll even come down to below 12.
Yeah.
So
But they are finished nice. So like I said, the second time in a Tesla. And you got your roof covers on.
I've got the sunroof on because the Tesla is just too hot.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the biggest problem with these, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, and where the Seal's much better than the Tesla.
Yeah.
It's definitely the sunroof, because the sunroof, with its silver coating, makes a huge difference to the heating side. Yeah.
So how long did it take to learn Tesla?
So there are a few things. So I think now in the order set. Okay, so there are a few things. You can cut that bit out.
Yep.
There are a few things. One is the blinker.
Yep.
The other one is being able to see what the speed is.
Okay.
Now you'll see that I've got a phone holder here.
Okay.
The reason I got the phone holder here is when I first got the car, I put an old mobile phone there, and I got a GPS app which would tell me the speed I was doing.
All right. Yep.
Right. Because I really didn't think I'd ever be able to read that. I thought that was stupid. So I had that there for a while. But remember when I was in Sydney, the phone, the magnet on the back of the phone fell off. And it fell off. So I had to drive around Sydney without it. And while I was driving around, I actually got used to this.
Yeah.
So now what happens, and I didn't realise this, you kind of think that when you're driving, you're going to have to take your eyes off the road and look down there. But that's not what happens. What happens when I want to know the speed, my peripheral vision just looks there.
Yeah.
I can still see everything else that's going on, but I can see we're down 67. Now, so that was a big wake up call. We're not going to be going through any roundabouts. It took me a while to get used to this. Not so much to turn left or right, but on the roundabouts.
Yeah.
Because when you want to get off the roundabout, you need to put the blinker on to go that way. But then but these are on this side. I learned pretty quickly that when they're over this side, all you do, or when you're going to roundabout, you push the top button here.
Yeah.
When it's around the other side, you push the top button over this side.
Right.
So once I worked that out, that was fine.
Yeah. So how long did it take for you to work it out? Like a week or?
So there's two stages. There's one stage where when you're thinking about it and you're concentrating, that probably took 2 weeks. But the second stage is when you can do it automatically. So that when you're thinking about everything else, cars running around and all that, and you just do it automatically. Really that's only quite recent, probably after about 2 months, two or 3 months.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
But I agree with this speedo. Like I think it going now. Once you're used to that, I think you'll find it hard to look for the steering wheel and look for the speedo in the steering wheel because this is quite easy.
Yeah.
I would think that it's not that hard to adjust to. But
the other thing I don't like about it is this map over here.
Oh right, yeah,
it's too far.
Yeah.
So I usually just use the map here.
All right, okay.
But I do use this, when it, just for. It looks good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, beautiful resolution. It's there's a lot of data there transmitting that, but yeah, it looks good. I mean, just off the detail in the
you get used to
houses and things.
I thought I want to go back to the normal map where it's just drawings.
Yeah.
But it's really good because when you're driving along in areas that you don't know, like you can see, the beach is just over there. You can see the canals over there.
Yeah.
Well, you normally wouldn't know that.
Correct. Yeah.
So if you when we're going to Sydney, we learn an awful lot because all you do is you see on a highway.
Yeah.
And you can see an awful lot as to what's going around.
So you can't pick up that map and move it over this side. It stays there the whole time.
Oh wow! What you can do,
spin the one. Change
you
the
can do is
sizes. Yeah.
But you can't make that bigger.
Okay. I see. Does this help you at all when you see all this on the screen when you're driving?
I don't really look at it.
Yeah.
But look, you see the guy on the bike.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Yeah.
I use it when I'm parking, particularly if I usually reverse into a car park. So then I just drive out.
Yeah.
But if I go nose in, I want to reverse out. It's really good because you can see the cars coming behind you.
Right. So this is the what's this one called? The new model?
This is the Highland.
Highland. Yeah.
With the wide upholstery.
Yeah. So it has this. I think the big thing that people like about this one is it's got the softer suspension. I think before then, I heard complaints about it being a bit harsh.
So before I bought this one, I was looking at buying a second hand.
Yeah.
It was really once I decided I wanted to buy a Tesla, and once I decided I really wanted the C-Line, because all I really want is a big 803 with all-wheel driving and the power of the seal. So then I thought, okay, I'll just buy a second-hand one. So I drove the old one, hang on, wait.
Yeah.
So I looked at second-hand ones, so I took a couple of second-hand ones for a drive.
Yep.
And I really didn't notice that the second-hand ones were all that bumpy.
Okay.
Probably the reason I didn't get the second-hand one is I didn't like the timber finish.
Oh yeah, yep. I remember seeing that.
Which is a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Second-hand ones were all that bumpy.
Okay.
Probably the reason I didn't get the second-hand one is I didn't like the timber finish.
Oh yeah, yep. I remember seeing that.
Which is a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But also when I ordered this, I ordered it on a Saturday afternoon. I was even up to the last minute. I was thinking about the seal, and the biggest issue I had with the seal is I like to do a bit of Ubering.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this car and the Teslas is they're deemed by Uber as Premier.
Yeah.
And Premier is a lot. You get a lot more money. You get almost,
correct.
Almost double.
Wow.
Not
that's
quite double, but almost double. So, but the problem with the seal wasn't considered a Premier.
Yeah.
And I emailed Uber. I phoned them up. I said, look, really the seal's just as good inside as it should be a premium. They said, well, it's not classed as that.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what can, will it ever be? And they said, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I emailed support at BYD and asked them, and I got no response.
Yeah.
So I went to the local BYD and spoke to the manager and said, look, mate, there's probably a few people like me that want this. And who can I talk to to get this sorted?
Yeah.
And he said, he said, what exactly? He said, well, just phone support.
Yeah.
And then turned around and walked away.
Yeah.
And I won't say what I thought, but there's a few swear words in there. So I got straight in the car and went up and ordered the Tesla. So I figured if they didn't care, well, why should I?
Yeah.
So anyway, so I ordered on the Saturday, and on the Tuesday I got an email with my VIN number to say that my car is ready. Will be ready. It's on the ship coming off at the moment, and you had to send the money.
Yeah.
So I sent the money, and the following Monday I went and picked the car up.
Right. So I'm a bit like you. I want a bigger car than the Atto 3, and I'm really serious. Oh, well, obviously the Tesla Model Y is the size I'm after. So I'm thinking, oh man, I should actually go and put a deposit on one of those. And I'm just going to wait. I am going to wait for C-Line. But so you decided not to get the Model. Did you test drive the Model Y?
So there was a few reasons.
Yeah.
So the Model Y and the Model 3 are two different cars.
Yeah.
I know the wheelbase is the same and all of the other, but this drives like a sports car.
Yeah.
As I said, it drives like a very peppy sports car.
Yeah.
Where the Y drives like a bigger, it drives like you're much higher. It feels like it doesn't feel sporty.
Yeah.
And the Y, there'll be a Highland type version of the Y coming out about the same time as the C-Line, when the C-Line comes out. So I thought, okay, well, I'll have 12 months of driving a little sporty car.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you won't be able to see this on the camera, but I'm just driving along now, and you watch the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a go-kart.
Oh, you could do that again. I missed it. Yeah, it's very, very direct.
It's very direct, like there's nobody behind me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm probably not a fan of the Y at the moment.
Okay.
After this,
yeah.
I think if the C-Line is the way I think it's going to be, which is like a big version of the Atto 3, but sitting on the performance of the Seal, I think it will win hands down over the Y. I mean, the Y is, you'd think when you sit in the Y, you think it's bigger than this.
Yeah.
But it's really not. I mean, sure, you get more space in the back, but you really don't.
Yeah.
It sounds weird. You kind of get a bit more height.
Yeah.
But that's about it. But there is certainly the perception in the Y that it's bigger. But then in this car, you don't feel cramped. You probably feel cramped because you're bloody 7 foot tall. But
no, it's a spacious car. There's no doubt about it. And
you've got headroom and all that.
Yeah. I think my sedan days are gone, Ian, because I've just recently hurt my back doing some paving at home, and so even getting in and out of the Atto 3, I'll be we're back. I don't think if it was any lower.
Even the Atto 3.
Yeah, even the Atto 3. So if it was any lower, I'd be like, I'd be like an invalid. So, but yeah.
But certainly the Atto 3, when I got the Atto 3, it was definitely my favourite car.
Okay.
And people ask me, which do I prefer, this or the Atto 3? And they're just two different cars.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's definitely got a lot of shortcomings. Like if they brought out the rear-wheel drive version instead of the front-wheel drive version, I think that would have been a lot better. But that's.
I must admit, it is good to be able to, put the foot down without kind of bouncing over there.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know if it's true or not. I've spoken to one person who said he just got brand new tyres and 19-inch rims, and he says it doesn't torque steer anymore. So I'm not sure if I believe him or not.
No, that could be the case.
Yeah.
Because I think the problem with the torque steer is it's losing traction on one of the wheels.
Yeah.
So you put on bigger wheels, and it may end up not getting the torque steer. But that wasn't a big thing. I mean, I don't drive that fast anyway, so yeah. So what do you think of your second drive in a Tesla?
Look, the first drive was a very short one, but all I remember of it was in the middle of summer, and there was no headlining on the roof, and it had been parked for an hour and a half in the sun when I got in it, and I only went for like 5 minutes to get dropped off at home, and I was happy to get out because it was so hot. So it wasn't a very good experience for the first go. But yeah, now it feels it. Oh yeah, I feel something. It's got air cooling in the seats. This one, yeah, I can feel it. Yeah,
it's pretty cold.
Yeah, I can feel that. Yeah. Sun wouldn't like that. But what I find, I always use the heat as seat heating, and I don't really use the cabin heating much.
Yeah.
So I find the seat heating is good enough to warm you up.
Yeah, I suppose if I lived in Sydney, I'd probably use a seat heating.
Yeah.
But I must say today's overcast and cloudy, but yesterday was sunny. Tomorrow's going to be sunny.
Yeah. All right, well that probably concludes the video. So that's the Ian's in a driver of Atto 3 for probably 12 months, was it, Ian?
Just on 12 months.
Yeah, 12 months. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's his opinion about changing to Tesla. Like, yeah, we don't condone any electric car. We like all electric cars. I think they're always better than the petrol car. But yeah, Teslas.
It's amazing the number of people who don't like electric cars. So I've had over 800 trips.
Wow.
In the Uber.
Yeah.
A big percentage of those were in the Atto 3.
Yeah.
And it was funny. You get a different response in the Atto 3 than what you do in the Tesla. So people in the Atto, I've got a lot of comments in the Atto 3 about how nice it was, how comfortable it was, and how much they liked it. I don't get anywhere near that response in the Tesla. Because there is probably two things. One, people know what Teslas are, and they didn't know what an Atto 3 was.
Yeah.
But more, there's a lot of anti-Tesla feeling, which I was really surprised at. And there's two anti-Tesla things. There's those that are anti-electric cars, and they tend to believe a lot of the misinformation. Like, I get a lot of people say, "Yeah, what range you got, mate?"
Yeah.
So, and this is real. I get about 450 kilometres from a charge. Oh, really? That much? Oh, well, you can't get to Sydney on that. You can't get to Sydney. So you get those sorts of people, and And then you get the others that don't like Teslas. And there's two reasons why they don't like Teslas. One is they're everywhere. Oh, there's so many of them, you know. Rah, rah, rah. And the other is I don't like Elon Musk. And probably the I don't like Elon Musk is probably the higher one.
Sure.
And I say to them, mate, if Hitler made this, I'd buy it. Because if you buy the car, you don't buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not Hitler, but
yeah.
I mean, people still bought VWs, didn't they?
Yeah. So, have you had a look at the Sea Lion 6, the new one?
No, I went down to Rabina, but it hadn't arrived then.
Right.
But I'm a converted EV guy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, but just to get an idea of the finish and the size, it's a very, like, I wouldn't never buy a hybrid car, but it's very impressive, the fit and finish of that car.
And the size of it?
Yeah, and the size is very...
Did you have trouble getting in and out of it?
Well, to be honest, the car's a lot bigger, but the actual driving space doesn't feel a lot bigger than the Atto 3 because they've got this big console in the middle. Oh. And I didn't feel...
Why do they do that?
Because they want to do... they're doing this double phone thing in the middle. So they've made the console wider, and it doesn't feel any bigger than the Atto 3 when you're driving in the driver's seat for me. Yeah. But everywhere else is much bigger, like kind of mid-size SUV instead of small.
It's funny you should say that because this actually feels bigger in the driving seat than the Atto 3, and you notice that the dashboard's lower.
Yep.
So you get you see a much better view over the top.
Better view, yeah. I can feel that it's a more open, airy sort of car. Yeah. And the windscreen's way forward, which helps. But it's very, very smartly made. I think they were onto a winner when they designed this. They knew what they were doing. So,
the only thing I would suggest they did is instead of having a boot, they made it a hatch.
Oh yeah.
If this was a hatch, it'd be an unreal car.
Yeah, I do. I really dislike sedans. But hatchbacks is so much easier. If I haven't had it, I've owned a lot of hatchbacks in my time, and I find it, because I like going to Bunnings and renovating and all that, and I like I hate paying for deliveries, so I like to be able to chuck it in my car. And if you don't have a big SUV or a hatchback or a trailer, then you're stuck. So that's my reasoning for liking bigger cars as well. Oh, it's this new Crown Casino, this one.
Check this out.
128.
And so far 123.
Yeah.
And that's with roof racks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're not going too fast. What's this one, Ian? Is that Crown? Is that a new casino?
The one we're going up there, yeah.
Yeah, right. Very fancy part of the world, the Gold Coast.
Well, they're just over there.
Ah. Alright, well, I don't think we've got much else to discuss, so that'll be the end of the video, and you just got the opinion of Tesla from an Atto 3 driver, so